Hello, it's Karmatos, and welcome to another episode of Community Request. There was some requests for Shapura, more specifically Vehicle Shapura. We're not gonna get that heavily focused on it, but we are gonna have some endgame vehicles for victory. But the deck is Custodial Chaperone. Uh, Custodial being Custode, and Chaperone being Chaperone. Anyway, so what we got going here is a Warlord who is a little awkward, but pretty fun. 2 energy, gain shield, and front line. So the theory I had was throw as much sneak attack, first strike, and relentless into the deck as possible, and some other fun staples to combo off of. So here's how it goes. Imperial Bureaucrats help with the draw when the, what do they call that? Sentinel is occurring, and you can't draw, so it's a nice turn 2 option as well to be able to frontline and throw out a Bureaucrat and start getting that draw off. Imperial Emissary, similarly, a good turn 1 because it's hard to kill turn 1, and then turn 2 you can start shielding, or etc., or maybe turn 4, get off a combo between him and his power. It's kind of like a continuous source of abandoned supplies. Neuron Squad, yeah, fun. This is one of the staples of First Strike, 4/3. Nice and low cost. Screamers, staple of Sneak Attack. Nice with the Unstoppable. It's going to come in handy at least once in these 5 matches. Brotherhood, Relentless. Add a Taint of Chaos to your hand. Just nice 3 energy, low curve, Relentless. Has that 3 toughness, so if you drop it on turn 2 and they don't have a board state, they can't quite kill it, and then you can start popping off with shield and throwing taints on him, and we'll even see this guy evolve into a greater demon at least once. Milkor, just mandatory. When you give yourself that front line and things, now it's suddenly a 4 attack with front line, so it's going to kill their stuff harder. It's also going to combo with the Auric Mortalis. So, and of course, it just helps all of your sneak attacks and your first strikes. So, absolute staple. Equitrez, with all the frontlining warlording, he's going to take some damage. This seemed like the best avenue to heal him for only needing 1 card for healing. Jubok, it's another source of draw. It's nice low curve. Come on. Yep, first strike, stealth, sentinel. Don't necessarily need to actually frontline the turn you drop this one. You can drop it turn 4 and then frontline afterwards. So, great first striker. Alpha Theta, again, another good continuous relentless ability. Has some decent stats, can't quite be 3 damaged off the board. And, get those Mechindrites so you can start giving shield and damage and cleave. Just a little bit of diversity. It's nice. Termalis support, yeah. Again, when you have a frontline warlord, just buffing his power, both combos with the next upcoming card, and makes things that have to face into him take 1 more damage. Auric Mortalis. Yep, deal damage equal to your warlord to all enemies. We're going to see at least 1 4 damage to all win me a game. Hunting Eagles. Come on, first strike flank. It's absolute staple. Best card from Custodes. It's amazing. Tribune. Normally never lives past a turn, but when your warlord has front line, ever so slightly increases that chance. It will die almost every time I play it, or every time I do play it, but you get the idea. Ramir. I don't know if I ever draw this without mulliganing it, and then I never see it again. But again, the theory is the same, where you can frontline your warlord and then poke the enemy warlord for 7 over and over again, and it's just a little harder to kill for them. They actually have to use some tactics. Or Goldstone Hunters. The Annihilator, absolutely. Here's your vehicles, buddy. Sentinel, anything that attacks it gets stunned. Only going to happen if for some reason I don't drop frontline, or if they have Unstoppable, but otherwise it's a great way to win the game by constantly dealing 4 damage. And good late game. This one was kind of a fun, different pick. The first draft of this deck I made it with not a very high curve, thinking that I would need a low curve, and it flopped that first round. So then I took out 2 cards that cost 1 and 2 cards that cost 1 again, or 2 or something. I took out like the lowest curve cards that were bad, and I added 2 Aquilians and 2 Doombringers. These guys are great because they're just big, beefy 8/9, and when you got that frontlining Warlord, anything that attacks the Warlord will suddenly be dealt an extra 3. So, and since he's the front line, they have to attack him. Seemed like a fun opportunity. Don't think I'm actually going to get to see those in play. Doombringers, on the other hand, here's your other vehicle, buddy. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all enemies. It's a nice Relentless that when this troop is behind a front line is very hard to deal with because 5 toughness, they have to have, you know, something with Unstoppable with 5 power, which is pretty unlikely, or they actually have to deal usually 2 effects worth of damage to it. Very few card effects are going to be for 5 damage. So, pretty safe behind that wall. And since there's only one other board wipe, he kind of plays the second. Anyway, without any further ado, you can see the failed first attempt there. Some more Logar. Yeah, alrighty. But we changed the deck, so we're not watching that one. We're going to watch the next 5, which was 4 victories. Let's start. In hindsight, maybe should have mulliganed away the Screamers, but for some reason I decided to keep one there.
Your defeat is
Nice thing about this opener is that usually this fellow likes to face bash in the very beginning because he'll be able to heal himself, but we've subtracted that value from him with the shield. I knew this was a 50-50. I thought it would go better. But he is going to take that 2 face, so that way he can deal the 3, and 50-50 chance. Takes out my Bureaucrat. But he also saved me 2 damage for only 1 energy. So, all about how you look at things. Popping that one, because anything else I draw, he'll immediately suicide into and get his demon, so it just seemed like the safer bet. See, now we get to pop out those Screamers. He presently can't hurt my Screamers. I'll be able to kill the 2/5 with 0 repercussion. And I don't care because I have Unstoppable. Unlike the Neuron squad, you wouldn't have. But I also dropped him because 5 power is enough to do that. And I definitely want to get rid of that sneak attack, because otherwise we're going to just have an annoying time. And I had to repop Ward, because I got to keep that 5/2 sneak attack up. But that's going to very rapidly change this board state for me. Here I was really hoping for any demon except Battleflies, because I could have killed any other demon, except for maybe, what, the 6/6? That also would have been bad, so. But 6/6 doesn't have Unstoppable, so. I decided the best thing to do is to attack that flyer, so, because that's the only thing that has Unstoppable on his board, and he will ram it into the 5/2. I'll get my energy back. Ta-da. And I was going to do 1 poke for the shield, hit me for 3, which puts his 3/6 at 4, but I don't quite have any way to get around all of his frontliners. That's the end of that. We're going to start turning this around, because he just quit. I'm not sure why. There was nothing fancy there. There was no 30-second disconnects. Nothing was out of sync. Just, I guess he didn't want to deal with it. Didn't like where the game was going to go. Alrighty, this game is one of my favorite games I've ever played. Strap yourselves in. Because what screws up Angron more than this guy? Shield every turn and you have to attack? And he gives up! He doesn't want to deal with it. I don't blame him. So if you're tired of Angron, just drop this guy and you'll never have to fight him again. Alright. This is going to be a short episode. Poturabo. So apparently the secret to this Warlord is that it just annoys your opponent into surrendering. I was really hoping for something lower curve. Oh well.
Take the iron within.
And this is that 3 toughness. He's not going to be able to kill it turn 1 unless he combos into it, which he's just going to be able to face bash it. He will live. This game actually gets pretty off the hook. I'm going to have Imperial Bureaucrat drawing and Reduction 2 drawing. If you wanted to see a hand size get huge. Goldstone Hunters are my nemesis. Those early drops all have 1 power, and the Unstoppable goes right through it, so... But I like the Bureaucrat, so I'm going to bait him with Jubok, actually, because I'll get the value from Jubok immediately, and otherwise he will attack anything else I play. Like, I'm not going to play one of the 4-3 squads. I'd get no value out of it. It would just die, and then that would be it. At least I get something out of Jubok. That's a big hand. We're gonna drop double first strike. And he's not charged, so he doesn't get to deal with anything here. I think does he get to do some damage against me? No, he's gonna sit back. Alright, I think it's Hunting Eagle time. Because I don't like the 5-5. Lots of bureaucrats. They're both going to die. He did get off at least 1+1+1 buff with that 5-5 from before. I was debating dropping the Doombringer this turn, but didn't seem quite necessary yet. I think we're going to drop Tribune. Of course, that's just going to provoke the ire of the 6 damage. Not the best time to play it, but it fit the curve. Seemed fun. So that way I can keep Hunting Eagles out. Because otherwise Hunting Eagles would have been the target. Not sure why he did that. Oh, to have it die during his turn. I think he was provoking his, that's what he was doing. He's going for Whisper. Yeah, we're just gonna first strike the whole board down. And then drop a pair of fatties. I don't care. He was hoping to have the random 2 land there. And to also give him a reason to heal 3, I guess. Lands over on the sidelines. What a shame. I have 3 attack though, so we're gonna drop that Mortalis. Goodbye Jubok, goodbye 2-2. And we put the 6-4 into first strike range for a guy that's already at 1 health. Everything's great. Then we do shield and face bash him with everything, I think. Yep. What was that? 6, 5, 5, 16, 20 damage, at least. Oh, and 3 damage to also. 23 damage in a turn. Nice build up. Say goodbye to your 3-3. Oh, nope. Out. Probably have lethal. Didn't do the math yet. Don't need to. Alrighty. This match was actually pretty darn close, I think. Fulgrim has tactic generation, which is definitely hard. Generally speaking, it's very hard for Chaperone here to deal with like Horus or Volgrim or any warlord that deals damage to troops, either directly or indirectly. So here I'm setting up to take that down, because, yeah, I don't like that. I thought he was actually going to suicide my 4-3, but he'd rather get off the 5 damage and deny me the draw. But the consequence of that is he took 4 damage, and I'm going to kill both of his troops. And I go with the Alpha Theta, so that way when he kills my 4-1, I will get a draw, because my hand size feels a little small, and I assume that he would, like that. So that 1 unit for 3 did 8 damage to the enemy warlord, killed the troop, all at the cost of 1 additional draw. So the hope here is that he's going to face bash and deal 4 to me, and then he'll be in range for first strike, and or something of that variety. Either way, it looks like he's going to be in range for first strike. Great. But oof, my health. Sad thing about these, infantry or Astarte. Infantry or Astarte. I think I'm going to make one error in the future, where I forget about that detail and mistime some things. Oh, here's where. For some reason, I thought that I could drop this onto him, but I didn't realize that it also shared that difficulty. I should have suicided him first, dealt 6 sneak attack, and then hit him for the last 4. And that's going to be the mistake I think that loses me this game, because he didn't get any utility that turn. That's going to get insta-destroyed, although if I had popped a 3 attack onto there, it would have been dead, but I wouldn't take the upcoming 6 damage. But it does have the benefit of him taking 2, and putting him in range, and saving that for the future. Just can't use it on these, or that, so it's going to go on a bureaucrat at best. Now I just have to kill both of his troops. And Annihilator. He's going to get off some very good perfection turns here. That was nice. Oh no, that's next turn he gets off all the fun. Sneak attack, sneak attack, sneak attack. Haha, sneak attack. Direct 8. I'm feeling pretty okay at this point. I suspect the 5-1's gonna die. There he goes. But now, I think my 8-8's about to be stunned. Yep. Let me say, I still got this optical doohickey. That does me not much good. And I didn't want to go suiciding our Imperial Bureaucrat just yet. And yeah, there we go. Pride of the Emperor. Goodbye. So sorry, Mr. Tank. But he keeps dealing 2 to himself. And all my little dudes here are protected. So in this case, I believe I'm going to do 2 to all, buff him, give him cleave, it'll finish off all the troops, he'll take 2 and 6, and I still need him for the draw because the hand size is way too low. But that seemed like the last good time to give him some buffs. And gold stones. They are the anti-chaperone. That's not a great state to see. Doombringer's nice, though. And I do love these Doombringers. The goal was to have 8 energy at the maximum for a troop, so that way you could always play that card and that. Got him down to 3, but he's gonna perfect me for 4 damage with his tank. Even that would have been fine. If like, okay, you heal 6, I still have lethal. I attack you with my face, I hit you for 7, or I hit you for 7 and the turn ends. And that finished me off. If he had a bike, I was dead. If he had a tank, I was dead. Just couldn't quite keep it up. Good game, though. Good game. It's a 1-turn difference. Alrighty, and last but not least, we have Shadrach. This might be the second video with Chimp. Yeah, he's a 2500er. He's hit that low Terra. Plays a lot of practice. Again, that nice 3 toughness, difficult to deal with. He'll end up facing 2, and then he'll be protected for the future. That was 2 reductions, I believe. What, an abandoned supplies followed by a... Yeah. I think if I were to tweak something about this deck, this would be a great unit, but I don't know. As far as an 8-unit cost goes, it's probably as well. Having Custodes at endgame is really hard. Although, I'd be able to pump out 8 damage a turn until he dies, so... I didn't go with that fancy epic 9-coster, 1 because he's 9, 2 he has front line. Which kind of defeats the purpose of this. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. Best combo. Screw poison. We're just gonna get rid of that before the sneak attack double tap goes off. Oh, and a free bureaucrat. I guess he skips the whole turn because he doesn't want to drop anything for the 5/1 sneak attacker to kill, which is fair, but it just means he's gonna take the face damage instead. Damage that can evolve him before he dies. And I decide, if my hand size is big enough, I don't care if he kills anything. We've been getting 2 reduction, draw extra, plenty. Goodbye, Duke. He will kill you with 7 damage. Only got 4, so here's a Tribune. I'm sure Tribune dies. The question is how. There's no way he lives. Okay. Okay. There it is, win of the week. And you got the better one. Really hoping you hit the 7-3. But at this point, I'm just going on the offensive fun. I don't need more card draw. Let's Custode away. I thought that was going to happen a little earlier, honestly. But yeah, he had to, because at that point it was lethal. I think we're going to Doombringer. And then protect him. Just in case there was some kind of flank sneak attack. Oh, Neutrino. Let's do it again. Back to back Doombringer. Look at all that vehicle chaperone goodness. Good play. But it turns out I still have lethal, because I have Corvinus and Mortalis on the cheap. Plus a little face damage. Actually, I could have just done it twice. But I think I just nip it in the bud. Ta-da! So that was the Custodial Chaperone. Hope you liked this. If you did, like the video. If you want to see more like it and you haven't yet, subscribe. Share it with your friends. It's a fun card game. It's fun to just pick warlords and throw cards at them. Yeah, this was Karmatos. Thanks for watching, and I hope to do more community requests. If there's any warlords you'd like to see, drop a comment, let me know, and I'll see what I can whip up and put it on. Thanks for watching.